Oh my gosh. So guys, I just did a video. I literally just did a video. I vented my heart out only to find out that video did not get recorded, and I am beyond pissed off. I tried to prevent myself from swearing, so I think I'm going to end up dropping my filter in this video because I have to literally pour my heart out again. So let's go into it. So this video is probably going to be much more shorter than what I just tried to record. So let me just fill you in. Phone's not working. I can get internet access, but through my internet, but I cannot, as you can tell, I still can use internet, but I cannot call or receive text. I used to be able just to receive text, but now I fully can't receive texts or calls. Midweek, I noticed something was wrong. And apparently my phone company said that the towers were down, which made no sense. And they said it should be resolved the next day. It was not resolved the next day. We couldn't call them back due to some issues with some friends' schedules. And I couldn't call them myself because, one, I can't call. So, this week, bumped into my good friend Brian aka my drag sister, and they called them. They gave us the same harangue. They gave us the same harangue, which is BS. I'm so mad that I have to basically talk about this all over again. I am so mad. This is another fate. It's like, what the heck? I just recorded this and it didn't record. Continuing on. So Brian talks to them, and now they're saying it's going to be a 24 to 48 hour wait. It will, and which is 24 hours is already passed. 48 hours will pass by 6:15 today. So Brian called BS on them using the tower excuse, and they flat out, I don't know if I'm saying exactly, but it's close. So he basically asked them, so the towers is down in downtown Seattle, the working area city. They bypassed the answer. They bypassed that answer and then just went into another subject saying, we're sorry that this is happening, yada yada yada, we can do this, we can do that, and but it will be a 24 to 48 hour thing. A 24 to 48 hour ish thing resolved. So another wait game. So we're waiting. And to top it off, I think we had a good time. We had a good time after that call. We hung out. Chunky joined us later. We all chilled. We had dinner together. It was great. And this was Wednesday, by the way. This is Wednesday. And then when I get home, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm just slightly still irked. This is not resolved. I get a letter. Somebody tried to use my name to open a bank account through a P.O. box that they opened in my name. That is not my P.O. box. They're saying that after doing some research, funds have been not denied from this bank, yada yada yada. I have my suspicions who might have done it. I am not going to give them any mercy. But after I got that notification, after I got that letter, I was like, I need to take a mental break. So I informed Chunky through text chat. I can use text chat, which is a miracle, literally a miracle. So I can literally still contact people through text chat, at least. Not my phone service, but another app. So that's good. I let them know, it's like, hey, I'm not walking the dogs on Thursday. As soon as I got home, I got this in the mail. I need to have a mental break. at least for today, for Thursday. So all Thursday I stayed in, didn't go out. I didn't even go out and check my mail. I still haven't checked my mail. In fact, I'm planning not to check my mail because I don't know what else I'm gonna get. What other bad news am I gonna get? Because that's all I've been getting. That's all that's been happening is some bad news. And so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Housing has not tried to call me. I'm keeping my fingers crossed my new therapist hasn't tried to call me because my phone network is down. At least they're saying it's down. There could be other things happening and they're not going to explain it. I do know that it's not just me who's having issues. So that's good. That's very good. So as I said, 24 hours has passed. I don't know if I've said that or not. I might be thinking about my other video that I tried doing and it didn't publish. So I'm just going to flat out say it's a 24 to figure out if this phone's going to go back online or not. 24 to 48 hour wait. 24 hours have already passed. 48 hours should be up by 6:15. If it's not up by 6:15, hopefully tomorrow I'll get together with Chunky or Brian or both. We'll call them back. Brian has the case number and everything. So if they lollygag or bypass answers, I don't know what our plan B is going to be, but if they do not restore my service for whatever reason, I guess we'll just consider a new service because seriously, this is BS. Which is going to irk me because that means I have to call. I may end up having to get a new number and then I have to call A, B, and C people to inform them, my number has changed, which is going to be chaotic. I wanted just to deal with that when I move. I did not want to deal with that now and then I have to deal with it when I move. So I'm going to have to deal with calling A, B, and C people twice if that happens, and that's going to irk me. That's going to irk me really bad because I hate that. And it's a lot of people I have to call. I'm not going to go into detail what I mean by a lot of people. But to narrow it down, it's income, health services, etc., that type of stuff. And you have to literally immediately update them when things change. Otherwise, it will be more chaos. And normally when you have to call them in person, it's maybe a 38 to maybe an hour and 30 minutes until somebody actually talks to you. And you'll be lucky if you can even hear them. If you go in, it's an even longer wait. So online, depending on the certain hours of the day, you can do it. You can nip it in the butt. You can nip it in the butt, but it depends on if it. But the downside about that, it may look updated on your part, but it may take a while for it to update on their part. Also, if the thing that I got in the mail, if it's somebody blood related to me, I'm not having any mercy. And if they say you shouldn't be doing this, we're family, yada yada, I'm going to flat out say, well, you shouldn't have done what you did to me. So, literally, but like I said, it could not be family, it could be something else. All I know is that I hope this is not going to become an issue. I seriously hope that this does not become an issue, because I can't handle any more issues. I cannot handle any more BS like what's going on with my phone service. And if it ends up becoming an issue, whoever it is, if I know them, I'm not going to have any mercy. Even if I don't know them, I'm not going to have any mercy. Literally. I don't need somebody trying to commit fraud and identity theft and use me to achieve whatever they're trying to achieve. So yeah, but I'm going to cap it off there. This video is much more shorter than the first video that for some reason did not record. So fingers crossed this records, because if it doesn't, I don't think I am going to do another video. So if you see this, cool. Thank you for listening if you've listened this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.